bin wieder da.
Hit get started, and then we want to put in our email, full name, and password. Once you put in all your information, hit join right here. Then you want to hit Shopify.
WhatsApp. Ja? Nacht.
I was going for sexy, but it's...
This is from Ashton Forbes, a U.S. government contractor with top secret clearance, who believes that the plane did not crash in the ocean, but was instead intercepted and teleported using advanced technology. I'm going to try to summarize his arguments, but for the complete picture, you should look for his name and watch several interviews he recently did. The videos are proved to be from 2014, shortly after MH370's disappearance, depicting orb-like objects.
And hit continue.
Hä? Was ist gerade mit Internet oder? Ja, irgendwas ist auf jeden Fall. Weil ich mal einfach ohne Stream habe. Aber eigentlich, ich will euch halt eigentlich full auf den ganzen Weg mitnehmen, was ich alles mache. Check mal noch kurz mein Task Manager, was da abgeht.
Unfortunately, I have lost a duck recently. Az, leave it. Az is doing really well, but unfortunately, he's the reason I lost the duck. The first week or so, he wanted to play with the ducks, and I got that under control really quickly. But he's a doppy, excitable puppy. On accident, one of the mornings, he ended up stepping on a duck. It wasn't on purpose, he was just trying to walk around, but he's doppy and heavy. He didn't receive it.
Continue, and we definitely want to get signed up with the starter 500 plan. As you can see in the corner, they have an annual or a monthly. I definitely recommend going with the annual to save the 25% off. If you're truly serious about going on your e-commerce journey, this is going to be the best bet for you, but it is going to charge you for the full year upfront, which will be around $360. And if you want to go with a monthly, that's going to be around $39. But I promise you guys, the value that we're going to be getting out of this software is truly unmatched. So I'm going to click the 30-day free trial.
Oh, das wird krachen, wenn ich mich da nicht dran halte. Ah, ich hätte gern PayPal. Alles, was ich an dir mag, ich meine das so, wie ich es sag. Du, 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 du. Alles gut, habe erstmal noch genug Geld für die nächsten 3-4 Monate zumindest. Ich hasse, dass ich das mache, aber ich mache es irgendwie einfach trotzdem. Checken, wenn die Person zuletzt online war.
Trial here. As you can see, you can pay through PayPal, Payoneer, or put in your card info, and it's going to be giving you the first 30 days free, and then if you do the yearly, it's going to charge you $368. So I'm going to hit continue right here, and then it's going to take you into their dashboard. You can see they have a winning product section here showing you everything that is working right now based on what they're fulfilling. They also have a TikTok ad spy tool, so you can come in here and see videos that are going viral, sort them by ones that have over 500,000 likes, and even hit advertising to see which one.
Aber brauche ich gar nicht, will ich gar nicht. Das will ich unabhängig machen.
Ones are actual paid ads, so this is an absolute gold mine right here. There is so much value inside of this software. There's so much little tools. I'm going to teach you exactly how to utilize everything in a later video. So with Shopify and AutoDS set up, we are truly ready to start this journey. I want to personally thank you for being in this
Junge. Ah! Das ist jetzt der erste Schritt, den ich nehme bisher. Und um richtig ernst zu machen. Einfach Pre-Build Stores with AI. Crazy shit, for real, for real. Aber 30 Euro im Monat wird teuer mit meinem 10 Euro Spotify noch. Boah, ey, Digga, ich habe wirklich das Gefühl, das könnte actually was werden. Muss man direkt ein Gewerbe anmelden. Grundsätzlich muss das Gewerbe immer zum Zeitpunkt der Tätigkeitsaufnahme anmelden. Das bedeutet jedoch nicht, dass der Kunde sofort tätig werden können. Je nach der geplanten Tätigkeit stehen noch andere Anmeldungen an, wie ein Finanz- oder bei Wow. Egal, wir machen das jetzt hier schon mal trotzdem. Wie kann ich das Ding kündigen? Ja, okay, aber ist cool.
Program with me and watching this video to the end. I truly hope you guys put this at a high value, because there are so many people that are just going to go through this course nonchalantly. They're not going to really care about it. They're not going to have a deep emotion tied to it because they got it for free. Maybe they saw a video ad, they saw an organic video from me on TikTok or something, and they were able to come into the website, create an account in 2 seconds, and be watching this first video, get access to all of this. And there's not really a concept of how much value that is really in here when you I've rambled on far longer than I should have. I just want to say I truly love you guys so much, and I'm so excited.
Alrighty. Aber jetzt spielen wir mal ganz zu der Stelle.
Because so you can come in here right now based
Marketplace winning. Hä? Nacht. Ja, warum hat der das und ich jetzt nicht?
on what they're fulfilling. They also have a TikTok ad spy.
Hä? $45, 60 Euro, Digga. Hä? Was bezeichnen jetzt hier die 30?
tool. So you can come in here and see videos that are going viral, sort them by ones that have over 500,000 likes, and even hit advertising to see which ones are actual paid ads. So this is an absolute gold mine right here. There is so much value inside of this software. There's so much little tools. I'm going to teach you exactly how to utilize everything in a later video. So with Shopify and 2 seconds and be watching this first video, get access to all of this, and there's not really a concept of how much value that you'll be able to import. You go from 0 to 1, to go from a life of mediocrity, fear, self-doubt, and translate it into something that's a conscious life that you created based on your desires, your passions, and your dreams. And the fact that I'm able to give that to you guys means the world to me. So with that being said, please enjoy the 20 hours of content ahead of you, and I hope to see you in the community group, jumping on live streams with me where I can learn your name, learn your guys' goals, your dreams and desires, and make sure to help you get them. Quick reminder, boys, below this video is a personal commitment pledge. This is an opportunity for you to quite literally make a contract level commitment to yourself. Please make sure you print this out, you sign it, you put the date, and as you can see, my signature is at the bottom of this, as well as we are going to be doing this journey together. After signing this, please make sure to put it either on your vision board or somewhere next to your computer where you will see it daily. This may seem silly, but I promise you this is going to take things to the next level when you make a genuine commitment to yourself. I love you guys so much. If you're
Schon irgendwie Quatsch. Sorry, Jungs und Mädels.
If you're familiar with dropshipping, you're probably assuming it's just like it was back in 2016. But the space has truly changed so much over the years, and it's constantly evolving. So today we are going to jump into the basics of dropshipping and explain the true potential behind this industry. If you aren't familiar with dropshipping, here's the basics. You locate a product that you want to sell on your website. Then you find a supplier that has this product and they're willing to ship out 1 unit at a time for you. You then create a website, and when someone orders your product from you, you use the money that that customer sent you to then purchase the product from the supplier at a cheaper rate, and they fulfill the product to your customer on your behalf. Quick little example, if you have a product that you get for $10 from your supplier, you could sell it on your website for $30 and you would profit the $20 difference. That essentially is the basics of dropshipping. The key component is that you don't have to order bulk inventory, you don't have to purchase wholesale, spend a ton of money on ordering 1,000 units of the product. You can just sell any item you want and they'll ship them out one at a time for you. You just pay a little bit more per product than you would if you did purchase it wholesale. So if you summarize dropshipping, basically all your job is to bring people to a website. Obviously, it's more complicated than that. There's a ton of other things we have to do, but essentially that's the essence of our job, is to create a website and bring traffic to it and let someone else fulfill the products for us. But to take dropshipping to the next level and evolve past that, you have to do something that Nike does extremely well. Let's think of Nike. What is Nike? What does it stand for? What does it mean? What's the emotion behind the product? How do you feel when you purchase a product from Nike? And most importantly, why are they able to charge such high prices? If you guys don't know, the average cost Nike pays to manufacture a shoe is literally $3. So how are they able to sell shoes for over hundreds of dollars and sometimes even thousands on resale markets, with people purchasing the shoes and then selling them later? Why are customers willing to pay so much? How did they build such a huge empire of obsessed fans that aren't just willing to pay that much, they're also willing to sit in lines and go through all these hoops just to get the products? The key word behind all of this is branding, which is essentially just storytelling. And your ability to execute on this topic is the difference between running a 6-figure store and running a 7, 8, and even 9-figure company. Through this course, you're quickly going to understand that we are in the business of e-commerce, and dropshipping is simply just a method that we utilize to fulfill products in the starting stage.
Jetzt wird uns ganz mal einen Kollegen verarschen. Oh. Ich will einfach.
17,000 your first month on Shop. I'm going to show you how with Facebook ads. Go to Facebook Ads Manager, select Create, choose
something, and this is what it was going to be. The sport of entrepreneurship was my new competitive arena. Hence this done 414,000.
Nee, das ist Kacke.
In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to track your Shopify dropshipping profits and automate the entire process using a Shopify app called
You may have heard of dropshipping, a business that has completely changed my life. A business model that is so simple yet so rewarding. We are witnessing one of the greatest.
Hey, how's everybody doing, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I have a very special treat for you guys. I'm showing you one of my stores that did $1.2 million in the month of November alone. You can see right here, we started around the 20K mark, and we just kept scaling, and our highest day of this store was probably around 60K per day. I actually want to focus on the conversion rate. You can see right here, the conversion rate was 5%. Now, if you don't know what 5% means, it's actually a really high conversion rate for your website. That means out of everybody that visited your website, at least 5% of them converted. Converted means they purchased something from your store. So on average, if 100 people visit our website, that means 5 people will basically check out. And that's
Eventually going to get away from dropshipping in this course and teach you how to run a huge company. So dropshipping has been huge since 2016, and customers are getting very smart. They know what dropshipping is. They know that some of these products are probably not going to ship to them fast at all. They know the quality's fake. They know these websites look untrustworthy. So if you really want someone to come to your store, believe that it's a high quality product, that it'll ship to them relatively fast, and they can trust putting their credit card information on the store, then you're going to have to do a lot more to convince these people that you're an actual brand selling an actual product and that you're trustworthy. We can no longer make some huge bulk crappy website with 10 products on it and no real branding, no storytelling. That day is coming to an end. It is extremely important to have a story behind your brand, an emotion and a feel, and be targeting a specific audience with the product or products you sell. Quickly, I want to go over an example of a really crappy store and a really good store that both sell the same product. So the crappy store today we have is 24decor.shop.
Oh, aber nur wegen gestern mit der ganzen Faden ist. Das ist ein crappy Store. Was ist da meins? Ist doch gut! Das für meine Eltern ja pennen und Mann dafür Fisch um die Ecke bringen. Mathe. Warum war denn immer noch kein Piril? Eieiei. Ich glaube, ich habe da aber auch nichts mehr vor. Also jetzt einfach mit dem.
With a store like this, you don't really seem too trustworthy. Like, what is 24 Decor? If you go check their best sellers, they have drills, carpets, vacuum cleaners, decorations, clocks. ice cube makers, humidifiers. It's just all over the place. If I wanted to go check out a store with a bunch of different products, I'd go to Amazon with 2-day shipping and high quality products that I know I can trust with their review system. Essentially, the only way you're gonna have success with this store is by having a really good creative, and you just have really good advertisements and you kind of get lucky. You are able to make 6 figures with brands like this, with stores like this, but essentially your long-term goals, everything's gonna dwindle out. You're gonna have to keep making these new products, and you'd never be able to sell a store like this. You're not creating true value. You're not creating real customers, and overall you can make some money, but it's not the long-term game you want to play. So if we look at the blender smoothie they're selling, this is an old winning product from 2017, and it was a big winner when it came out. They're still selling it now. Their website looks kind of weird. It's not horrible. There's reviews. I mean, it's not the worst. There's 4 and 5 star reviews, but when I show you the good website, you'll see a very drastic difference. Now we have BlendJet. What's crazy is these guys started drop shipping this product. They saw success with it and they kept running. They turned it into a real brand. They got customized products. They bought in wholesale, which also makes the product way cheaper. If I'm drop shipping a blender, it's probably going to cost me $15, but if I buy them in bulk with customized product, with customized logos on them, I can get this product for maybe $3 to $4 and still sell it for like 50. So this is where we get into that Nike level with the high margins, and we can sell a custom product and make custom content and make everything look absolutely amazing. So if you look at their website, you can see they have extended warranties. They have all these cool things you can buy with it, like a protective sleeve. They even have jet packs, so these little smoothie things you...
Ich mach mal ganz kurz von den Cam-Setting besser. Das ist ja sprunglos. Was wird so... Oh. Wirklich sticht das Haar. Das ist kranker Scheiß. Da ist nichts drin. Nicht wundern, es geht gleich weg. Alles, was ich an dir mag, ist so, wie ich es sag. Ich muss aber einen Stuhl holen von unten, damit meine Eltern nicht aufwachen, weil meiner knackst zu sehr. Oh, erwischt. Wenn ich jetzt hier schon ein paar Stunden rumhock, so langweilige Scheiße mache, dann ruhig mit dem Snack. Ich meine das so, wie ich es sag.
You can just pour in with the water and it'll make the smoothie for you. So this is what they're doing. They found one product that is really good, the blender, and then they built other products around it. They built a brand around it. They built a team around it and started getting fast fulfillment. So if you look at their website, it's very clean. It's very well done. They have GIFs with a little headline, a little explanation. It's almost like a storybook, like a children's storybook. Has big text, cool little thing to watch, and rinse and repeat with that type of style. You know exactly what you're getting. You know it's a trusted brand because it has their branding on it. It's not some ghetto cheap product. And this is our overall end goal. This is how you go from making 6 figures drop shipping to making 7 and 8 figures. I can guarantee you guys that Blendja is pulling $1 million a month in sales without a doubt. So without going too in depth, that is the difference between a crappy drop shipper and someone who's playing for the long game and actually building brands and knows what they're doing. So let me break down and show you guys the exact strategy for TikTok. This is going to be super breaking down into 15 steps of basically how you go from a drop shipping store to turning into a 7-8 figure real brand that makes a ton of money. So your first step is to scour TikTok day and night looking for viral products that fit a certain criteria, and I'll go into that criteria in depth. This is just a quick little breakthrough. Once you find a very strong winning product, you're gonna order it off Amazon and have it shipped to your house. While you're waiting for it to arrive to your house, you're gonna make a really cool website specifically for that product and also make a branded TikTok account for that product as well. Then once you have the product at your house, you're gonna make 2 to 3 TikTok videos a day and post them just organically on the account. Now, any videos that perform really well, you're gonna take them and turn them into Spark Post ads through TikTok's paid advertising. Now, your job is to make 2 to 3 videos a day and turn them into Spark Post ads if they're really good. If you have a killer product and you're really good at making viral, trendy TikToks, you can easily start hitting $10,000 days in revenue just off that alone. And if you're hitting your industry average 20% profit margin, that's $2K a day in profit that you can reinvest into your brand. At this point, you're gonna have a lot of customers coming in and you're gonna need to hire a virtual assistant to take care of the customer support and fulfill all the orders. You're also gonna connect with a 3PL team that's gonna process the orders for you. We never utilize AliExpress. But again, keep in mind, we're gonna get into all the details of that. And I have a team of virtual assistants that you guys can directly connect with when you need it. Now that you're scaling up your store, you're gonna need to invest in a UGC agency as well as start working with influencers. This will outsource the video creation aspect and you'll have others doing it for you. And now you have money to pay for services like that because you're bringing in so much revenue. So now that that's taken care of, you can just focus on scaling up the brand and running the paid advertisements. Then to scale past that, you're gonna need to hire a full-blown marketing agency to take care of the paid ads for you. They'll take care of TikTok and also branch you into other marketing places like Google, Facebook, and all that. Now we're getting into the realm of having pretty big costs that we have to fulfill each month. So our profit is naturally going to decrease. But if we're utilizing influencers, we're utilizing UGC, and we have a marketing agency taking care of our paid ads as well, our revenue is going to explode. And yes, you're getting a smaller percentage of profits, but now your revenue is going from 100,000 a month into the millions a month. And yes, you will get a smaller percentage of the profits, but we're going from $10,000 profits to $100,000 profits a month because we're getting such a larger increase in revenue. Now, when we're hiring a marketing team, we're also going to need to hire an email and SMS retargeting team that's going to make email flows, text retargeting, and make sure that we're recouping a lot of the sales of people that add to cart and didn't purchase. Now we're at the stage of really making a ton of money, and it's time to invest in ordering our products in wholesale. So buying them in bulk and customizing them, getting a logo put on there, and looking into warehousing and 3PL teams in the United States to get really fast shipping. And essentially right there is how we have a real brand. That's a real company at that point. You have a custom product It ships from China into a warehouse. You have fast shipping out of the United States. And you're a real company. You're not drop shipping anymore. And this is where you start making 7 and 8 figures. So if your brand is operating at this level, let me give you a quick breakdown of how much money you're making. At this point, you have a killer product, you have a killer brand, and it's going to be hard. You might have to make a couple stores to get to this point where this is actually killer. But if you're at this point, your TikTok ads are going to bring in 10 to 20,000 revenue a day easily. Your Google ads are also going to be matching that with 10 to 20K a day as well. And with that much volume, that many people visiting your store, your email and SMS retargeting is easily going to bring in 5K a day at that point. Now, working with influencers, this is huge. You can make $2 a day, or you can make 200,000 in a single day, depending on what level you're working with influencers. There's micro influencers and there are huge influencers. If you have a deal with Kim Kardashian or something, obviously the day that posts, you're going to make hundreds of thousands in revenue that day. So if let's say we're working with a small amount of influencers, they're not huge, but we're working with a lot of them, we can easily bring in 10K a day through that alone. And if we're continually posting TikTok organic, we can bring in $1,000 to $5,000 a day through that as well. So if we add the lowest estimation of all of these numbers up, we're at 36K a day. So 36,000 a day in revenue times 30 days, we are making $1,080,000 in revenue each month. Now, if we times that by 12, we are making almost 13 million a year. And obviously, yes, that is revenue. And an industry average is around 20% profit margin. So that's around 2.6 million in profit for yourself. And I know, guys, this probably sounds fucking insane to you and so unimaginable, but I promise you, running a $12 to $13 million a year store is not that big. There are thousands of stores that are processing more than this each year. If you don't believe me, you can go watch Shark Tank. There's all these people selling these random products you've never heard of, and they'll say their e-commerce sales are millions a year. And for a huge perspective change, how much do you think Amazon brings in a day? The answer is $1.3 billion in revenue a day. And that's based on their last year's sales broken down by how many days are in the year. So they definitely had days that were in the 2 billions of how much money they processed that day. I promise you, you making even 100 million a year in revenue on your store is absolute crumbs to this $1 trillion industry. Meanwhile, everyone is saying dropshipping's dying, it's too saturated, it's too competitive. These people just have no clue the actual state of the industry. We're just doing e-commerce. It doesn't matter how you fulfill the products, it's just e-commerce in the end of the day. It's a $1 trillion industry and there's more than enough to go around. If you think this sounds too crazy, honestly, you need to get over yourself. You need to get rid of limiting beliefs, stop thinking so small, and stop living so small. You need to start desiring more out of life. Start thinking big, believing big, and acting big. A quote I love to think about is, what would you attempt if you knew you could never fail? You need to start thinking like that. You need to believing you're a winner, to believing that these huge things are possible for you. You need to take control of your life, become accountable and disciplined, and start acting like someone who wants to succeed in life. And with all that being said, that is a perfect segue into our next video. These next 2 videos are a little crazy, a little in depth. I'm really excited to present them to you. Please go into them with an open mind. I promise you they're going to be some of the most valuable videos in the entire course. All right, guys, this one is going to be a long one, so please sit and be patient with me. We're going into some topics that I can promise you definitely didn't expect to be learning in a dropshipping course, and it might seem a little bit off track. It might seem a little woohoo spiritual even, but I promise you guys, this is going to be one of the most powerful videos in the course, the most powerful sections, and this is going to be something that if you really put your all in it is going to be the detrimental factor, the keystone to your success through this program. That's something I truly believe. So it's going to be a little long. It's going to be a little bit out there. Please be patient with me. This is stuff that you have to learn to be successful. So now that we know a little bit about dropshipping, we know the foundation, we know our goal and what we're striving for, the focus now shifts to ourselves. We need to understand ourself, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our beliefs, and our identity. We need to discover the inner world. And most importantly, we need to clean and organize it so we can create the outer world we desire. The car, the house, the time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, all that stuff. So without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, you have to understand that everything comes from the inner world and then moves to or is reflected to the outer world. This is why manifesting is a thing. Now, your inner world is comprised of many things, but it's basically what you would assume it is. It's everything that isn't outside of you. The best way to think of your inner world is like a physical landscape. This landscape can be created and changed very rapidly, almost like the landscape of a dream. The landscape of your inner world changes based off your thoughts, emotions, your perspectives, your ideas, your beliefs, and your identity. The inner world is extremely important because it is the only thing you can truly control in this life. Your outer world can be controlled, but you're always going to be a victim to outside circumstances. In the outside world, too many things have control over you, and in the inside world, literally nothing can control it besides you. Now, for us to fully understand our inner world, we also have to know some things about our outer world, about our universe, and some natural laws, some rules to the game of life, if you will. And in my opinion, the most important things to understand is the 7 principles of the universe. Now, as I go over these principles, you might think like these don't apply. Why are we talking about this in a dropshipping course? And I might sound like the homeless guy downtown talking to you. But trust me, this is some very, very important stuff, and it'll all make sense in the grand scheme. I also want to say this before getting into it. I know a lot of you might be religious, and some of the ideas or things that I talk about might seem like it's in that religious realm, or it might conflict with ideas or beliefs that you already have. But I can absolutely promise you these are just sound principles of how the universe functions. This is all in accordance to nature, and what I'm presenting to you is facts, and if you study them yourself, you will come to the same conclusion. But without further ado, let's just go over the 7 principles of the universe. Now, I'm going to have to do these with a very quick explanation. I could literally make an entire course just about these 7 laws, and there's a lot that goes into them, so let's just go over a brief explanation. Number 1, we have the principle of mentalism, which basically states that all is mind and the universe is mental. 2, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. This basically states that the reality you experience is a mirror of your inner world, which is basically the whole topic of this video. Number 3, the principle of vibration. This is something Nikola Tesla was extremely familiar with. This principle states that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates, which we know with modern science to be fact. 4, the principle of polarity. This one is extremely strong.
Das Problem damit ist, damit er einfach nur zu den Strukturen in der Makro-Welt referiert und nicht zu dem, was jetzt hier passiert. Also, das jetzt vibriert, genauso wie mein Finger. Durch die Atome, die zusammenhängen.
Wrong when you fully utilize and understand it. This principle states that everything is dual. Everything has poles, a positive and negative, a north and south. Everything has its pair and its opposite. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature. You can think of them as a circle with the positive being on the top, negative being on the bottom. There's always a connection between them. They are 2 sides of the same coin. The only thing that's different is their degree. All extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The true power in this one is if everything is positive and negative at the same time, we as a human being have the ability to control where we are in the degree of positive or negative.
Als Mensch vielleicht, aber zum Beispiel jetzt Gott, der ist nur positiv.
With anything that we want in life. Number 5, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has tides. All things rise, all things fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is also the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm always compensates. Number 6, the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything that happens is in accordance to the law. Chance is a name for law that is unrecognized. Nothing escapes this law. Number 7, the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine properties. Gender manifests on all planes. Now, I know these may seem completely out of left field and you don't understand how this applies, but I would love to explain these in crazy deep detail, but this video is already going to be extremely long, and I really think the best way for you to learn these topics is to read the book, The Kabbalion. This book is absolutely amazing, and it presents the laws of our universe in a very non-biased way, and I promise you, you will thank yourself for reading this book. The understanding of these principles are going to be an essential tool for your long-term success in life. I truly believe that, and this is a book that I'm going to force my kids to read when I have one. If you want to win at the game of life, you have to understand the rules that confine designed the game, and these are the rules that confine your reality. Here's one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard. The only true test of someone's intelligence is by measuring someone's ability to get what they want out of life. For example, if we were to look at an animal and try to measure its intelligence, we would assess its ability to accomplish goals. We would essentially measure its ability to navigate its reality. When it's hungry, how does it find food? When it needs shelter, how does it solve that problem? When it looks to mate, how well and how uniquely does it solve that task? And man is no different. Everyone seems to get lost in these weird things like how long did that person go to school? How much money do they have? How good looking are they? What connections do they have? And we use those things to measure someone's intelligence. But honestly, those things don't show how intelligent you are. The only measure of intelligence is measuring someone's ability to get what they want out of life. Do you want to live a spiritual life detached from society? How well can you achieve that? Do you want to become a materialistic millionaire? How well can you achieve that? Maybe you want to travel the world with zero belongings and have the financial freedom and time freedom to never worry about money again. That's all great, but how well can you achieve that? Truthfully, nature doesn't care how smart you are. Nature doesn't care how long you went to school. Nature cares about your ability to survive. Now, the ability to survive is kind of more in the realm of what animals are measured by. Humans, in my...
Ganz kurz. Ach du Scheiße.
Eyes are measured by their ability to thrive in life. And that is why we simply must understand the laws of nature so we can best navigate ourselves through this journey towards whatever destination we choose. And for the time being, you're here with me, learning dropshipping and e-commerce in order to profit $10,000 a month. That is our exact goal, to profit $10,000 a month, which means we have to do $50,000 a month in revenue at a 20% profit margin. That's $12,500 a week in revenue and $1,780 a day in revenue. If you're selling a $40 product, that means you need to convince 45 people to purchase it each day. That's it. That's our goal here. That's our specific exact thing that we are striving for. And it's extremely important to understand and break down your goal into exact numbers like that. Your mind has to understand this task deeply. The universe needs precision. You need to tell the universe exactly what you want out of life. And once you do, the universe begins plotting with you on your desired goal. Once you set your internal frequency to the level at which you desire through precisely measuring out your exact goal and what it takes to get there, is the second that the outer world starts utilizing the law of correspondence and bringing that goal towards you. Essentially, that's what manifestation is. But you must dial yourself in on the exact goal, the exact frequency. Think of an old school radio. To get to the song you want, you must tune that radio to the exact frequency that that song is on. Even if you're slightly off, it's going to be fuzzy and you might get something close to your goal, but it won't be the exact goal. Your goal of making $10,000 a month is somewhere floating around in the universe, just like that song is on the radio frequency. Here is your desired goal. Here is you. Once you set your frequency to the exact level of this goal, you begin to basically create gravity pulling that goal towards yourself. The inner world and the outer world operate on different time schedules.
Ich verstehe, was du sagst. Du musst dein Leben daran anpassen, was du willst. Kurz gesagt. Ja, warum was? Warum sehe ich so pilzhaft heute aus? Hier ist meine Kopfhaut. Crazy, was für Blumenschott in meinen Haaren habe. Sehen aber auch einfach gut aus.
And since time is basically an illusion, it's not a linear path. So for your inner world to match with your outer world, the first thing you have to do is set the frequency like we just talked about to the exact goal. You have to know this goal. You have to feel this goal. You have to commit to it. You have to act almost as if you've already achieved the goal. Because if your frequency's set, you've essentially already achieved the goal. Time is an illusion. It only takes time for your outer world to match and pair with that goal. Once you've set your intention, you've set your frequency, it's only a matter of time until it tracks towards you. Now, we can't just ignore the fact that we live in a material world. If we were transcendent of this three-dimensional reality, the things we desire in life would just instantly come towards us. There's no time to catch up between the inner and outer world. But since we are human beings in this material world, we have to begin to work towards these goals. We must also do the work required to achieve this goal. But just know this. Once you set your exact frequency of your goal, you've already done 50% of your job. To achieve the other 50%, you must do the following. Number one, you must hold faith that this goal will come to reality. You must truly believe it's possible. You have to feel that it's possible and that you're deserving and worthy of achieving this goal. You have to fuel this goal with the feelings of already having it. Think of how it would feel to have this $10,000 a month. What would you do with it? Who would you help? Would you take care of your family? Would you buy yourself a new car? Get yourself a nicer place to live? Hold on to the emotion behind these goals, these actions that you'll take once you achieve that $10,000 a month. Inside your mind, you need to create the emotion of already having the $10,000 a month, already feeling it, and hold on to this emotion every day as long as you can. Anytime you feel discouraged, you can easily think yourself into already having the $10,000 a month and rekindle that flame. Number two is creating precision. You need to have an exact plan of action to hit this goal. And don't worry, I'll take care of that part for you guys. Number three, you need to obsess over this goal daily. Honestly, let it consume you. Think about it always, be continually planning towards it, put it at the forefront of your mind at all times. times. This will speed up the time it takes for your inner world and your outer world to pair. Number 4, you really need to feel worthy of this achievement. A lot of people have limiting beliefs. They have success blocking beliefs, thinking that the world's scarce. It's hard to make this amount of money. $10,000 a month is so much. How can I make that? But let's put it into perspective. Guess how much Jeff Bezos makes a day in profit? It's estimated over $5 million every single day in profit. I can promise you there's an infinite amount of money, an infinite amount of meaningless paper. You making $10,000 a month through an e-commerce store is such a small drop in the bucket. The natural state of the universe is abundance. The universe has no problem giving you $10,000 profit a month. Another quote I really love is humans don't create abundance, they create lack. The natural state of the universe is abundance, meaning that we can always get whatever we want out of life. It's humans, it's our own thoughts, their own emotions that create the disconnection, that create the lack, that create scarcity, fear, doubt, and all of those negative things. That brings us into number 5. Never succumb to fear, lack, or doubt. These emotions plummet your frequency. It will go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows when you start listening to lack.
Digga, warum bekomme ich jetzt diese ganzen Beziehungs-TikToks?
My name's Kayla.
That don't matter. That don't matter.
Is my
Jawohl. Oder Patrick, Digga, Rocky Kiosk. Hat mir gerade eben geschrieben, er hat gerade Apfelwave bestellt. Bald ein weiterer Ausflug nach Rockenhausen machen. Ja.
And when your frequency lowers, you're beginning to manifest things from the lower frequency. So your outer world is attempting to pair with that lower frequency. So it's very important to never listen to those thoughts. And this brings us into number 6. With me saying that, I know it might seem scary, like, okay, anytime I have fear, anytime I have thoughts of doubt, then I'm going to start manifesting that, and then it becomes this negative spiral. You don't need to constantly focus on avoiding fear, avoiding doubt. Because if you're focusing on negativity, you just create negativity. All you have to do is just ignore those thoughts. You just have to focus on the positivity. You can't fight darkness with darkness. The only thing you can do to get rid of darkness is turn on a light. So just be a light in your own life and be a light in others' lives as well. If you focus on that, if you focus on having faith in yourself and having faith in this goal, you'll never have to worry about those emotions. They'll simply come across and you can just pass them aside, knowing that it's just your mind trying to self-sabotage you on the journey to this goal. Which brings us into number 7, which is prayer. Prayer is also extremely necessary for success. Prayer is basically the action of tuning your frequency, tuning your inner radio. Prayer is essentially just speaking to the universe, setting your intention, telling the universe, telling your higher self, telling God what you want out of life. Then once that word is spoken, the universe knows and can help you on your journey. Promise you, if you're atheist, no matter what you believe, these are simply facts. If you speak out the information, if you speak out what you desire in life, it comes back to you. There's nothing you can say to refute it. Now, I totally understand.
Ich werde Gott ganz sicherlich nicht nach. Hey, kannst du mir diese Monat 10.000 auf die Bank machen? Ich bin noch nicht respektlos zu ihm.
A lot of these topics that I've mentioned can be kind of uncomfortable for some people, or it may even potentially clash with your current beliefs. But this information is essentially full of light. There's nothing negative with this information. My goal isn't to get you out of your religion. I'm simply sharing facts that I know to be true about the universe, about our reality. These are the rules to the game, and we want to utilize them to help us hit our desired goal. You have to understand your reality so you can optimize yourself to get what you want out of life. And to me, this is the true meaning of life: to experience what you want to experience, to grow, to feel, to create, and simply just go through life consciously with intention. But okay, all that stuff out of the way, let's try to get back to reality a little. I want to talk about the 2 different types of people that see success in life. This one's gonna be kind of funny, but we have the Gary V's and we have the Crystal Girls. They're both pretty much jokes, but let me explain what I'm talking about. The Gary V's are the workaholics, the people that think simply work and sheer force will get them where they want to be in life. And honestly, they're right. Work is absolutely a huge part of your journey to success. And there's a lot of truth in this mentality and its ability to get you results. But this outlook is so physical, it's so male. And the people that embody this energy usually completely shy away from improving their inner world with things such as meditation, intention, and all the stuff we just mentioned before. Next, we have the Crystal Girls. What I mean by this type of person is the person that just thinks they can manifest anything in life. This person's very hyper-focused on the inner world, and it's a very feminine energy. They attempt to be in a perfect mental state, and they usually are very resistant towards getting their hands dirty and actually actually working towards things. You're gonna have the best of both worlds, because when you work on your inner world, it instantly shaves off the time between your reality of your inner world and your outer world pairing. For example, if someone has a horrible inner world but they just work their ass off every single day, it could take them over 6 months to a year of hard work to achieve their goal. But someone with a solid inner world could achieve that exact same goal with half of the work and in half the time, because they have the rules of nature on their side. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of the conclusion of everything I've talked about. Essentially, just working on hard work isn't going to get you where you want to be. It might, but it's going to take way longer. You need to back this hard work with a clear inner world, clear thoughts, clear emotions, clear actions, clear beliefs, and a clear identity that all point towards your goal of making $10,000 profit a month. And that is why I'm diving so deep into some of these crazy topics.
10k im Monat, so wenig.
50% of success is your outer world, your work, and 50% of success is your inner world, your thoughts and...
Also wie ich mich für die Außenwelt verhalte, kurz gesagt. Alles, was ich an dir mag, ich mein das so, wie ich es sag. Ich will uns mein Brat privat sagen. Privat. Es ist lustig, wie man reich werden kann über dieses Ding. Einfach so ein PC wie random.
Emotions and all that stuff. Now, with that being said, let's go fully back to reality. As I said before, I've had students come in here and make 7 figures their first year in revenue. I've also had people hit $10,000 days within their first month of opening a store. And I've also had people that have paid for this program and they haven't even logged in one time. And the sad reality is some of you guys will never hit $10,000 days in profit. Or for some of you, it'll take months and months and months, which is crazy because we're all operating from the same information, utilizing the same strategies. Through creating the 1.0 version of this course and really seeing how this process works, I've seen a lot of people that just simply pay for the course and they stop there. They only purchased it to prove to themselves that they're trying. So they can say to themselves, look, I took the initiative, I bet on myself. And it's crazy, they just let the journey stop there.
Ich arbeite an meinem guten alten Store, damit ich bisschen Geld machen kann, bisschen viel Geld.
They can't seem to motivate themselves, and eventually they just listen to their fear and doubt and they give up before they even got started. And let's quickly look through this course through the lens of college. And honestly, that's a horrible lens to look at things, but just bear with me for a second. What happens if you don't go to your college classes? Is someone gonna call you and reach out and ask, hey, why haven't you been in class? No, it's not their job to ensure that you go to class. You're the one that took the student loans. You're the one that paid. It's no one's duty to motivate you to go to something you signed up for and you paid for. If you don't go to college, essentially no one cares. They'll gladly take your money and be on their way. Now, some of you guys going through this course are gonna need an extra push to get going. And I truly want to give you that. I'm going to do my best to give you guys that through our community groups, and we're all going to be pushing each other towards our goals. But truly, there's only so much I can do and we can do as a community. At the end of the day, it isn't my job to motivate you. It isn't my job to babysit you and make sure you're actually going to go through this course and do what you told yourself you're going to do. This is essentially your journey. This isn't school, I'm not your parent, and no one forced you to be here. You made this decision because you want to take control of your life. You want to create something you're proud of, and it's my job to provide you with the exact roadmap, tools, connections, and infrastructure to do so, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. But you must keep up your end and actually give this your all. And please keep in mind, I have never seen a student go through this course and truly apply themselves for a year without hitting $10,000 profit a month. Yes, there will be times that you get extremely discouraged, but the only way you're ever going to fail is if you stop trying. I can promise you these numbers are so attainable. This industry is a $1 trillion industry. There are thousands of stores that do millions and millions of dollars a month in sales. I promise you got this. I promise $10,000 is so attainable for you to achieve. But what's the difference between someone that hits 7 figures their first year and someone that can barely even get sales on their store? Ultimately, I believe the person who saw success did the inner work. They kept it in the forefront of their mind constantly. They were diligent and disciplined on this path towards their goal. They utilized all my strategies properly, and through doing so, their goals were achieved and presented to them. The opportunity arose, the insight came, they had their click moment when everything seemed to magically work in their favor because their inner world aligned with their goal. For one last example, let's look at someone who hits massive success, but their inner world doesn't align with that success. The perfect example of this is lottery winners. $10 million lands on some idiot's lap. And guess what happens? He has a 70% chance of going broke within the first 3 years. That's a literal statistic. Not just going broke, literally filing for bankruptcy. You want to know why? Because they didn't have an inner world that was attuned at that frequency. They don't have the skills of managing $10 million. They're not at that level. It's like you're in a video game, a level 1 trying to wield a level 500 sword. You can't. You don't have the strength to pick it up. You don't have the ability. Ultimately, the frequency that that person operated at was nowhere near at a $10 million level. So the universe got it out of their life. It had to leave. It can't stay. This is why these universal laws, these principles are true. They work in a positive light and they work in a negative light. If there's an imbalance between where you're at in life, one will regress to the other. If your inner world's at a high frequency, your outer world has to match. If your inner world's at a low frequency, but you got $10 million, it has to lower and pair. There's no way around it. Just like the law of gravity. It doesn't matter how you feel. If you drop an apple, it's going to hit the ground. This is why your inner world needs to be at such a high focus. And with all this talk of inner world, it naturally brings up the topic of traumas and deep emotional work that a lot of people need to handle. Unprocessed emotions are insanely detrimental to your future success. You won't be able to tune your inner world to a high frequency if you're weighed down by all this past negativity. You have to declutter your inner world from all this weight and negative emotion. If you truly do have deep traumas, they need to be addressed. They need to be cleared, and you're going to do this through self-evaluation. You need to come to terms with everything that's happened to you in your past. It brought you here today for a reason, and frankly, it might be the best to speak with a therapist. If I didn't speak to a therapist, I would not be who I am today. I've gone through quite a bit in my life. I've seen my mom nearly die in front of me. She was in a horrible accident in a coma for 2 months, and I was a first responder to the accident at like 12 or 13 years old. Doctors told us to pull the plug on life support, and her miracle success story was so crazy that we were on the Today Show back in like 2014. I also watched my brother die from overdose and was thankfully resuscitated and brought back to life. I also went through emotionally abusive step-parents, through multiple divorces, and I even battled with some drug addiction myself at a young age. I watched my family go bankrupt for a small time, relying on local churches and governments to get by. I've seen a lot in life, and truly when I look back at it, it's motivated me to become who I am today. I truly believe negativity is in our lives to fuel us, to motivate us to be better, to do better, to achieve more. That is the purpose of negativity. That is its natural function in reality. You cannot run away from these things. You cannot avoid the negative things that have happened to you in life. You cannot hide from them. You can't view them as some evil thing that happened to you that you're scared of or should avoid. You need to face these things from your past. You need to look at your past self. You need to look at your inner child and give them a hug. Take care of them as your future self now. You need to face these issues of the past. You need to let them dissolve. You need to accept them and quit holding on to all of this insane weight. Because if you don't, nature will continually bring up these emotions and keep presenting issues in front of you until you handle them, until you face them. I promise you, you will never overcome until you learn to accept your past. It's truly the only way out. You must cut the emotional tie to your past. You must clear the negative energy. Let it fuel you to create the life you truly desire, the life you truly deserve. You will create this life. You have the power to do so. You will create a better life for yourself, for your family, for your kids or future kids. You will be the positive change for the next generations to come. I have full faith in that. I've never questioned or doubted it for a second. Nature gives everyone this opportunity to make a change, to make a name for yourself. And you have shown initiative. You have taken action. Deep down, you believe you are worthy of this change. But make no mistake, you will have to work your ass off to achieve this, to become who you truly want to become. If you have a heavy heart, a heavy past, please do yourself a favor and invest in counseling. I promise you it couldn't be more worth it. I truly would not be who I am today speaking to you if I didn't heal my past, if I didn't go to counseling myself. Promise, if you want this life, you want this goal to be achieved, it's a necessary step on the path. Now, I know all of that is extremely heavy and we have to go even deeper back down to reality one more time. I know talking about topics like that can be very hard for some people. It's even hard for me. So if you need to, take a quick pause and come back to this video when you're ready. We're almost done. The last thing I want to mention is on your path towards success, luck and timing are actually a pretty big part of it. Like I said, there will be some of you that hit 10K months on your first month, and maybe some of you don't deserve it. There will also be someone who doesn't hit 10K profit months for 6 months, but they deserve it 10 times more than the person who did. Everything in life regresses to the mean. Remember that. Whatever your standard is, whatever you operate at a daily level, that's where you're going to resonate. That's where your frequency truly lies. That's why it's so important to set standards for yourself, hold yourself accountable, be disciplined, and have a daily schedule. It's so important to make sure your inner world is clean so when life does regress to the mean, you're at the level you want to be. You're at the frequency of your goal. Last thing I want to say is it's extremely important to never have the
Milena hat da gerade eben geschickt. Ei, ei, ei.
War ich da vielleicht besoffen oder so? Oh.
Da gerade eben geschickt. Ei, ei, ei. Jetzt schon mal.
The fear of success. It's so important to feel worthy of success and feel like you deserve it. I have had countless opportunities fall in my way in my early days, and I didn't capitalize on them because I didn't think I was worthy of them. I didn't think it was possible. I thought I was dreaming too big. I thought if I tried, it would all just blow up in my face, and I'd lose everything and be back at square one again. You know, whatever bullshit story I told myself, which is basically just an excuse to get out of trying. It's an extremely real thing to get presented with opportunities and not feel worthy of them and shy away from them. And a lot of the times you've done this in your past subconsciously without even knowing you're doing it. I want you to know that everyone gets luck. Everyone gets a big opportunity. The most important thing is to make sure you're ready for it. Everyone catches their break. Everyone has that one day that changes everything forever. You just have to make sure you're ready for that opportunity and jump on it with full force and intention. With that being said, now that we've discovered the inner world, it is time to transform the inner world. And that is exactly what we're doing in the next video. Your last action steps for today are to read the book, The Kabbalion, learn those 7 principles of the universe. Number 2, detach from your past. Seek counseling if necessary. I promise you your future self will be so grateful that you got rid of that weight. We're essentially climbing a mountain, and a lot of you have 20 to thousands of pounds in a backpack on your shoulders as you're trying to climb up this mountain, and it's just not possible. So make sure you go cut that extra weight. Number 3, just get ready to transform your inner world. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh boys, I have some news. In this video you're about to watch that is extremely long, it took me an hour and 46 minutes of raw filming to finish it, and my dumbass didn't have the microphone on as I was doing it. So thankfully Adobe has this like AI that fixes your audio, and it actually did really good. It was just going off my camera audio, and my camera's pretty far away. So there was a ton of like reverb, room echo, a ton of white noise, and it was extremely awful. I mean, this is like a $400 or $500 mic setup versus like a very shitty distant camera audio built into the camera, just awful. So we saved it the absolute best we can. It's very easy to listen to. It's not bad at all, but it sounds like I'm sick or something. It sounds really off, sounds really weird, but I really did not want to refilm this video. First off, it was an hour and 46 minutes, but the energy, the vibe was really good, and I felt very happy after filming it. So I don't want to redo it. The energy's there, and I want to make sure to deliver that to you guys. We did the absolute best we can, but I just want to let you guys know beforehand that yes, I know I sound pretty weird in this one. With that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying the course, getting immense value, and I will see you in the other videos. Enjoy.
To truly transform the self, we first must understand what it is. We must understand how our reality is created, how our identity is molded. We must perfectly understand the inner
Das
work.
hört sich überhaupt nicht nach einer 10 Minuten Pause, ich muss kurz mitlegen. Weil diese ganze Scheiße zuzuhören ist schlimm.
workings of our inner world in order to understand how we can break free from them, to create that dream reality we desire, and create the dream self that we desire. To truly begin this journey of transformation, we must ask ourselves the question, who am I? And I'm being frank with you here. I truly want you guys to sit down and think, who am I? And try to answer this question. What would you list off? Would you say your name? Would you say where you were born? Maybe some of your past experiences? But is that truly it? Are we just a summary of our past experiences? Is that all that we are? What's behind our name? What's behind our past? Who is this person that's experiencing this reality? Who is the person that lived those past experiences? Is that the same person that you are today? We must ask ourselves we are. We must look far deeper than these classroom level introductions as being a way to explain ourselves. And to start this journey, we must first understand what is self. Now, the best way to understand self and to most importantly detach from it is through reading the book, The Untethered Soul. This book teaches you the reality of your identity, showing you that you are not merely a human having a conscious experience, you are a conscious infinite being having a human experience. This book teaches you that the self is something far outside the realm of your human needs, something far outside this small physical reality we experience. This book will also bring insight to your inner roommate. Your inner roommate is simply a way of explaining the small dialogue that constantly goes on inside your head. You know, the one that is constantly judging things, labeling things, organizing thoughts, and constantly narrating everything that's going on. Usually this voice has a negative nature because our social programming designs it that way. As we go through school, we quickly realize there are good people and there are bad people. There are good actions and there are bad actions. We also learn this through our parents, our religions, but our school system's a pretty big one. At an early age, we are taught to label certain actions and certain thoughts with good or bad. We essentially try to organize our thoughts into certain bins. We analyze them, we judge them, and ultimately when we're in school, we become acutely aware that other people have these judgments about us as well. And this is truly where our inner roommate begins to take control. Some of you might have not even very negative assumptions, which essentially has us slipping into living a life of fear, scarcity, and doubt. Because our society has trained us to have a negative voice like this, a negative inner dialogue. This inner dialogue is developed through our initiation, our domestication into the social matrix. As a young child, we're put in classrooms, we're told to shut up, we're told that the things that we're interested in don't matter, and we're essentially forced to conform into this reality that they've designed for us. So essentially, this inner roommate is born from our parents' voice. It's born from our teacher's voice. It's born from the religious leader's voice. It's born from the news. And all of these people are kind of combined into one little inner roommate that helps dictate the actions we take, the emotions we feel. And essentially, it tries to govern our actions in order to fit into society. This is a concept that has gone into way more depth in an amazing book called The Four Agreements. Highly encourage you to read it and begin understanding the power behind your words and the power behind agreements. These topics are beautifully explained by the author, Don Miguel Ruiz. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And I would much prefer you learn from him from the source of this information. So please go pick up his book as well as The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. You simply must learn to stop listening to this inner roommate, to stop giving so much weight and so much merit to the inner dialogue and the little voice that just chatters on and on and on, because essentially it's meaningless. Our first ideas might be to try and silence this. We cannot attempt to silence this inner voice. That will only make it much louder. The only thing we can do is stop giving merit to the things that are being said. As the stomach automatically processes food, the mind automatically processes thoughts. You see, we don't need to judge these thoughts. We don't even need to attempt to understand them or label them or organize them. These thoughts are fine as they are. Simply allow them to exist. These thoughts are not a reflection of you because they aren't you. Your true identity lies far deeper than the meaningless chatter that goes on inside your skull. You see, the mind is essentially a receiver. It's practically an antenna that tunes into certain frequencies. There's no value in analyzing these automatic thoughts. You need to understand how to let them flow freely, to simply watch them as if you were watching cars on a freeway, watching as they come and go. Try to be entertained by them. Be a witness to these thoughts. Don't let them trigger emotions within you or get reactions out of you. That's a surefire way to live a reality doomed to your lowest virtues and fears. Your past self has thrown a boomerang that your current self has caught. Your current self is throwing a boomerang that your future self will be forced to catch. Now that we've merely cracked open the door to understanding ourself and our reality, let's dive a little deeper and begin to understand how they are created, so we can learn to recreate them through a conscious level. In the next video, I'll be going over how to do this at a neurophysical level, but today we will be doing it at a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. So how is our reality
e-commerce? Ready to in ways that will make you just puts you back in the circle of self-sabotage, taking you further away from your dreams and changing that navigational chemical to point back in the direction we just worked so hard to change. You need to reward yourself with things that bring you closer to the person you want to become. We need to think of our future self as a millionaire that's accomplished all of these goals. How would that person reward themselves for tasks they accomplish? They'd probably go buy something nice, go on a very nice vacation, get some new clothes, go to a fancy dinner, help out the people they love. Treat yourself to things like this. Even if it might be a little bit hard on the budget, reward yourself by showing yourself what wealth looks like. Live a day in the wealthy man's life. Go to a fancy dinner, get some new clothes, go look at new cars, go look at new houses. Just be in the environment of these things. Reward yourself in ways that will make you feel proud of yourself at the end. Reward yourself with actions that resonate with your newfound identity. And lastly, we'll leave you off with our action steps. Number 1, begin your dopamine detox protocol. Go make a post in the community group with your exact protocol, the amount of days you're doing it, and the exact day you're starting. Once you finish this protocol, come revisit your post and let us know what you learned and what you experienced. Number 2, read The Kabbalion and the Science of Getting Rich. Little tip, I like to order the book on Audible and have a physical copy so I can listen to it as I'm following along. And number 3, get ready to finally jump into module 2 and start our journey into e-commerce. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the second module. I have put an ungodly amount of work into organizing this and perfecting it, and I'm quite the perfectionist, so I can quite confidently say that this is one of the best things I've ever made and something that I am the most proud of. This course means a lot to me, and this community means the world to me. I truly understand my duty to you guys, and I can promise you it's the highest priority in my mind to make sure you have an absolutely amazing experience going through this course, being a part of our community. And in the end of the day, everything that I do is to provide value to you guys. Seeing you guys grow gives me the most fulfillment I could ever imagine. It's very deeply aligned with my purpose, with my soul, and something that I just truly enjoy doing. Teaching and seeing people grow is one of the most fulfilling things I can imagine. So with all that being said, let's go over what I'm talking about in today's video. Today, we'll be diving deep into one of my TikTok stores that's had some pretty notable success. This store was operated solely through TikTok. I'm going to be breaking down basically everything you guys could want to know: the products, the ads, the website, how I found the product, and everything along those lines. I started this store basically at the exact same time that TikTok ads were born. So this store was where I learned everything. This is the store where I tested everything and really found the strategies that work for me today. So without further ado, let's dive in. Alrighty boys, welcome into the back end of my first TikTok store. So I believe this is the first time we've gone into the computer together. No webcam, no fancy studio setup. So in this video, I wanted to be more candid and relaxed and basically just break down my store, show you guys anything and everything you might want to know, anything you might need to know, so you can replicate these successes on TikTok yourself. So this store was done solely through TikTok. Looks like we started around August. Yeah, August, September-ish. First month, I like 30K in sales. Yeah, we had some really big instant successes. If you take 2 seconds to look at the graph, you can see there's a lot of issues. A lot of big tanks in sales, huge explosions, big tanks, and I'll really dive into everything. Our average sessions was a little bit more. Usually want to see sales higher than this number. Customer rate returning was pretty decent. I'll also be going over my biggest Facebook store that I had and showing you guys literally all the analytics and everything for that. And so it'll be interesting to see how the numbers compare and contrast. But yeah, 1.43% returning. 2.26 conversion rate. I believe that's pretty standard. Average order value is 34, but we bumped it up here at the end, and I'll talk about how I did that. Had almost 20,000 orders here. You can see the personalized necklace was the top product, and we'll get into the whole website. Almost 99% traffic on mobile. I'm guessing the desktop people saw our TikTok ads and then came in later on the computer. They opened an email from us or something along those lines. So we primarily targeted the US. That's pretty common for all the stores that I run. Canada and UK definitely had some notable sessions. China in there too as well. That's kind of funny. I think that might have came from organic because we definitely never targeted China. But yeah, these are some of the numbers. So let's jump into the store. So if we hit here, you're going to be very underwhelmed. Very, very underwhelmed. And there's some ups and downs with this store. So this was the testing store, if you will. This is where I really learned everything with TikTok and kind of got my feet wet and saw successes. And overall, for kind of like having a testing store, being able to hit almost 800,000 in like a year is pretty good in my book. But this store is basic, and I'll tell you why it wasn't kind of developed into higher levels. Later in this course, I'm going to be going over like literally hundreds of websites, showing you what's good, what's bad, different brands, all those good things. And you'll notice through the video that I'll do later that this is a very bad store. This is a very simple store. It's a very easy store. It's nothing special at all, but it was still able to bring in 770,000. So this is the store to give you kind of a storyline of how it came to be. The first thing I want to go over is this, the vintage photo keychain. This was the product that started it all. So let's go to the product page again. Underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. It's almost unbelievable to think that this store actually brought in that amount of money. But it just goes to show you that I think a lot of beginners, a lot of people that if this is your first store, you're going to be really caught up in like, oh, I have to make my store perfect or I'll never get sales, or all this money I spend on ads is just going to go down the toilet because they're going to come see a horrible website and never purchase. And honestly, it's just not the case. You'll come to find that in my later video when I do case studies of other people's stores and other brands and break things down, that a lot of stores look like shit and they do millions in sales, right? There's a lot of boomer websites. They look really bad. I'd call this a boomer website for sure, right? This looks horrible. This is a video I took in a spiritual.
Ja, mies 18-Stunden-Video angucken.
Shop with my girlfriend. It's her hands holding the thing you can literally...
Oh, Luis, bist du immer noch drin? Also Luis, für dich, wenn du auch anfangen willst, guck dieses Video. Nimm dir Zeit. Also wenn dein Englisch gut genug ist, so für mich ist das hier komplett gechillt. Mein Englisch ist sehr gut. Very nice. Very good, very nice. Warte, ganz kurz. Kann ich sehen, wer zuschaut? Ja, ein bisschen kacke, ich weiß.
You see me in the pictures, like iPhone video, 2 seconds, AliExpress images, like it does not get easier, right? And I don't recommend this, I'll be honest. This store is still in testing phase. It was never branched out into the full branding mode because this was testing grounds. And again, because we had so many issues, it was too inconsistent and there was bigger opportunities and other stores I wanted to focus on instead of just this. But honestly, if I took this to the full brand mode, like kind of what I'll show you in the later videos of stores that go into full brand mode, I think this could do millions a month in sales. Honestly, I think it could fully take over the whole industry. And honestly, I think this product's decent right now, but be careful with me saying.
Natürlich bin ich drin. Also Luis, für dich.
Ja, wie schon gesagt, Mann, du wolltest ja auch starten. Guck das Video, Digga. Also alle sagen das zumindest, und anscheinend ist es ziemlich gut. Aber bisher ist es geil.
Ja.
People are obviously going to go jump in and try it, so be aware of that. But yeah, to break down kind of how the store came to be, my Facebook ads were down. I got taken down. TikTok was just coming out, and I wanted to jump into it. And I had a friend that recommended me the relationship niche. He said, it's doing well on TikTok. I have a store that's doing it. Why don't you go give it a shot? So I looked up products that kind of fit this relationship niche, or like a gift for a loved one. And that's obviously where the name came in. Super simple. Like, this is just text on Canva, guys. Like, boys, this is as bare bones as it gets, right? So attempt this product. And the reason I chose this product is because I found a good video ad for it. So I did what you'll later come to understand as the reverse method, the reverse research method, which we'll get into later. But I found the video ad first. So that gave me the framework of everything I needed. Because if you find a winning video ad, you see an advertisement on TikTok, tons of views, tons of likes, it shows that that's a winning product. And it also shows a winning video ad. And it also shows a winning website. It also shows a winning product description, and so on. It shows an entire blueprint, if you will, of a good product. So I found a really good video ad and basically just took it. Honestly, I basically just took their ad. I outperformed them on advertising, on budget. And believe it or not, this website was better than theirs, which is pretty sad to say. But yeah, this product took off. And this was basically probably up to here. Probably around 200, 300K was brought in. And around January, something really cool happened. So, I mean, yeah, go visit this website, Loving Surprise, go study it. A little 10%. Woo! Everything's designed for mobile, so do keep that in mind. The desktop version's not the best, but it's pretty ass in general. But anyway, something amazing happened January. I found this brand, Wear Felicity. So these guys, to give a brief history on them, they started as like a pet channel. So the dude that runs this, he was running, or maybe still is running, a very big like dog page, some Instagram page at like millions of followers. So they started selling these dog rings, and they started selling this pet necklace, and then they found the heart necklace, and then they just really branched into like custom photo bracelets, everything. And so I saw some advertisements for this product. I was like, ooh, Loving Surprise, doesn't that fit perfect? Maybe I can outbrand him, right? Maybe I can outwork this guy. Maybe I can take some inspiration from him, take this product and go even farther. So jumped into this product, and that's when we saw basically this spike. So it might have been this one here a little bit too, but these big divots, these big horrible downfalls were ad accounts being taken down. And this is still an issue with TikTok a little bit, but not as much, because you have to understand that TikTok was basically birthed in like this time period, right? Like right around here. So it was brand new, absolutely brand new. There's issues, there's a ton of things, and my ad account got taken down many times. But basically this product was probably like over 400,000. So definitely maybe even 5, honestly, maybe 5. So a good majority of our sales were coming from this necklace. And sad to say, I didn't even branch into the bracelet, and the bracelet's their top product right now. If you click their Google ad, it goes right to the bracelet. So that's kind of how you know their top product. I'll be teaching you guys a bunch of little hacks like that, but they're sending all their Google traffic to their top product, right? They're not going to send it to their worst product. So this one's the big winner right here. I don't know if these reviews are legit, but these guys, they're still kind of sleeping. Like, honestly, you could still scale this product up a ton and brand it in a way better way. I don't want to be like a super big advocate for this product, this kind of like industry, because I haven't tested it in a while, and maybe it is dying, maybe it is dead. But if you have good video ads, you can make make anything come alive. And this was a really good product, and it wasn't too long ago, right? I mean, depends what time you're going through this course. Everything's relative, right? But it wasn't too long ago from when I'm filming this now. So definitely some potential there. So we tried some different products. We did like a sterling silver, kind of like a upsell for it. We tried to jump into the pet niche, targeting pet people, making like pet videos. This calendar keychain took like a little bit of buzz. It maybe got like 10,000 in sales and just kind of fizzled out. We couldn't get good video ads going for it. And that's something you'll come to find with TikTok and with Facebook as well, is your success is based on your video ads. Honestly. So obviously you have to have a good product, right? Obviously you have to have a decent website at least, but this is a good example of not having to have the best website. But truly at the end of the day, the absolute best thing, aside from having a winning product, because we know we need that the most, it's your video ads. So all these big influxes came in when we had a really good video ad, right? So, our video ad died. Ad account went down. We got the ad account back. And then, we got a new video ad working really good. So obviously I'll explain everything in depth, but that's a good kind of gist of the storyline of this store. And now I want to jump into TikTok and show you guys a little bit about the ads we were making and give you more context there. So Loving Surprise is the brand name. And if you'll notice here, we have some videos with some decent views. We got 2 million. 1.7, but there was way more. So let's start at the start of the story. You can see all of these video ads for the little keychain, right, with the little photos in it. Then the calendar, didn't see too much success, and then we got the photo necklace going. So we had some UGC people. These basically were all of like our own personal videos, but the real thing that was bringing in the majority of sales, low key, was basically just grabbing Where Felicity's ads. So let's quickly dive into their TikTok. So let's check some of their ads. And I think why I saw so much instant success is I was able to outperform them on ads. At the end of the day, I think the guy that's running this store is pretty good. He knows what he's doing to a decent extent with e-commerce. But I think I was outperforming him on ads because we had views up to 13, 14, 15 million on some videos, and that's where we're getting a bulk amount of our sales. And these views aren't organic, so we'll dive into a bunch of things. I'm probably getting ahead of myself in explanations, but it's good to know. So this is what's called a Spark post ad, and what that is this is an organic TikTok video. They made it, they posted it on TikTok itself, then they went into TikTok's advertisement platform, picked this video as the video ad, started pumping it full of money, and that's where all the views came. That's where all these comments came from. So almost all of these are Spark ads. So if we understand that, we can understand that, okay, this video got a ton of sales, but it fell off around 9 million views, right? Or else he would have kept the ads going. It'd be at a billion views, right? If he's still making money, he would have kept going. So that's a cool way you can kind of jump in and understand how good a certain creative is, how good a video ad is. This one was a really good hook. So basically what I would do was grab these videos. I would use this hook. We never really used that hook, but we probably should have because it got so many views. And then we would put our videos behind it. So we'd just grab their hooks because basically the hook's the most important part. I could have the best product, the best website, the best video ad in the world. But if the first 3 seconds of my video ad are horrible, then the person scrolls away, right? So I didn't get anything. Even though the rest of the video is a proven video, it gets so much sales. It's absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter if the hook didn't get them. I also use this hook a ton. Use this one a little bit, but it wasn't too good. And I'll go into like legalities. I'll go into the issues of using people's videos, and you have to be very careful, right? There's obviously the little moral debate, but there's also things you just want to be careful legal wise, and there is some kind of gray lines. There's some things you can do, but overall my biggest thing I could say is I don't recommend it. I don't recommend stealing videos. But the only kind of caveat to that is you can do it in the testing phase. You can do it when you're validating a product. And obviously I'm over explaining. Obviously we'll get into all that stuff. But yeah, this was basically the rundown. So we were grabbing videos from these guys, and this guy was getting pissed because clearly I was scooping up a lot of his potential business. And so he kept trying to file what's called a DMCA claim. Basically just saying that we're taking like his pictures, because TikTok didn't really care. He would try to file things to TikTok and they wouldn't do anything. So he filed something to Shopify saying that, hey, these product images, those are my product images. And we were using his product images, but it's not really his, you know, like he grabbed it from the supplier anyway. He grabbed it off AliExpress, whatever. It's not like he took these pictures with his camera, took the background out, put it in and uploaded himself, right? He just got it from a manufacturer and probably added this part to it. So it was kind of a petty argument to make with Shopify just to get us shut down. So I had to go pay someone to like do these 3D renderings. So they're all different, whatever. He takes the store down. And eventually I think he filed so many complaints with TikTok that they did take our video ads down. So we had about like 5 times this in video ads. We were pumping video, honestly, probably like 20 times this, pumping video ads out, taking and mix and mashing all his clips into new ones, bulk testing them on TikTok, seeing what works, scaling up budgets huge. And we'll go into strategies obviously, but that's basically what happened. That's basically it. And if we want to go into some nitty gritty of like, oh, what was your ad copy? Oh, what was your offer and all those things? I'll be real with you, on TikTok, doesn't really matter. Get a good product, get some good video ads, test them a bunch, let TikTok tell you what works, and then just run with it, right? You might have a video ad like, I thought this video ad was really good. Need some gift ideas. That's what we specialize in, and it promoted every product. 2K views. This thing, I ran paid traffic to this. Horrible. Absolutely horrible, right? So you can't really have these predetermined ideas. Oh, this is a good video ad. You never know, right? You never know until you post it. You never know until you run ads to it and kind of see what happens. But this was our framework. This is how we got all of our sales. Now, I also want to go over like branding. You can clearly see there wasn't too much of it in here, right? There's no custom content. There's no like brand ethos. There's no like emotion we're selling with the product, which is important, but we're not doing that, right? Because this was testing phase store. Yes, it has potential of like loving surprises, relationship products. So there was good thought to it. There was good framework and good long-term potential. There was just no execution. But yeah, the branding, the vibe was, hey, get something cute for someone you love, right? Something custom.
Ich geh jetzt baden. Das mach ich jetzt. Ganz einfach. So. Weiter geht's.
Custom, 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 custom. All of these are custom products. So that's the route I was
Ich habe hier ein bisschen Jamon Serrano Schinken.
planning.
Am liebsten mag ich den Prosciutto, aber der riecht auch sehr, sehr lecker. Das ist von Tesoro Still. Hier sehen wir das ganze Prachtstück einmal. Lecker. Da haben wir jetzt hier 100 Gramm.
Take this, and by all means, if you resonate with this, if you think you could crush it on these products, this brand, it does pretty good on TikTok, and I bet it could crush it on Facebook. I haven't tried this store or these products on Facebook, but if you want to go for it, just beware that there's going to be a ton of other students that do. But essentially, that was kind of like the goal with the brand, is like, let's focus on custom, let's scale out gifts, let's find new ones, let's go crazy on influencers, UGC content, all that stuff. But we just kept getting taken down from this guy. He kept going crazy, and ultimately there were some other stores that were taking off that kind of got my eyes away from this store. Now, something I want to go over is right here, this little bump in our AOV, average order value. So when someone comes to your store and they only pay $30 and you have a product cost of around, I think this was like $9, $10 was our average product cost. That means you essentially have like 18 bucks to pay in ads, right? That's not too high. But if your average person is coming in and spending 45 and your product costs 9, then we have a lot more room to have like issues with ads, to have ads that aren't too good and we can still be profitable, or we can have ads that are really good and just make way more profit, right? So your AOV is really big. You want it to be as high as possible. And what we did to get this bounce is a couple things. So something I will show here is if you go to apps, a lot of the apps I had are taken down because when this store shut down, I was like, I'm just going to remove all the things that were like expensive monthly costs. Like a lot of these installed apps aren't on there anymore. And so like our email marketing and our SMS retargeting, like through text messages and stuff, isn't on here anymore. Like I can't go back and go see it all. But something we did was after someone purchases, they instantly get a discount code to purchase again. So 20% off, potentially sometimes it was even 30 on like holidays or whatever. And we would say, hey, thanks for purchasing with us. Here's 20% off your next purchase. So that would be in their confirmation email right when they order. And that's basically where we got all of these. So that bumped our average order value a little bit because each customer is spending more money. So the next thing we did was upsells, like direct upsells, and the app's not on here anymore. But basically, if you ordered this product, you put your image in, you hit add to cart, you would get offered a $5 gift box. And the gift box did pretty good. If we can see, yeah, premium gift box, we had 4,400 people purchase that. And we only started selling it when we already probably had around 5,000 sales. So the conversion rate, like the amount of people that bought the gift box, was huge. We also sold a 2-year warranty for like $3 or $5 or something. And that's basically what got our price up. So we had an extra like $2 here, an extra, I think it was like $5 or $6 for the gift box. And that's where we got this jump from like an average 30 to a 45. Something else we also did was when you check out of the website, there's an option to give us a tip. 5, 10, 15%, and that added in some AOV. So super good to know there. That was something that really helped. We were really profitable in this section before everything ultimately got taken down and just kind of decided to give up. So when it comes to like retargeting, when it comes to back-end structures and stuff, we just had some really basic email flows through Klaviyo. We had some basic flows on SMS bump, and I think it's like text cart or something for SMS. We had a little bit of Google smart shopping, a little bit of like Google retargeting, and honestly like retargeting on TikTok is really ass, so we didn't do too much there. And that was basically it. Like this was not like the most neat and tidy, clean, good example store, right? This is just like stumbling into TikTok ads and trying to figure out what works. And it did work really good. The average profit margin was around 20%, even through all these big issues of getting taken down. So if we had a smooth journey, this could have really gone crazy and I could have put my full time into it and it could have been branded and really taken long term, but yeah, that just wasn't the case. And that basically summarizes it, guys. And I'll show our advertising strategies on a later video when we get into that with TikTok. So guys, that basically wraps up everything with the store. I know I didn't talk too much about like the advertising strategies and stuff like that, but we will get into that when we go over the TikTok ads. I just wanted to give a brief rundown of what worked, show you some numbers, show you some kind of in action stuff, right? Like here's our video ads, like go check them out, go see what worked.
Wie schlecht. Gehen aber alle gut weg.
To what didn't, go check out Where Felicity. These guys are still selling. They're still. I know I didn't talk too much about like the advertising strategies and stuff like that, but we will get into that when we go over the TikTok ads. I just wanted to give a brief rundown of what worked, show you some numbers, show you some kind of in action stuff, right? Like here's our video ads, like go check them out, go see what worked, what didn't. Go check out Where Felicity. These guys are still selling. They're still doing pretty good. You can go check their Facebook ads. And yeah, I hope that kind of gave you guys some good insight. If you have any questions, there's any other things you kind of want to learn about this store, make sure you go throw those in the community group. And when it comes to action steps, honestly, there's not really too much on this, right? This is just a case study. I'm just kind of showing you guys what was up, what the journey was, explaining the graphs, explaining the numbers, and kind of what happened. So hopefully you learned something good, and I will see you in the next video where I will break down my Facebook store that did 2 million in sales. We'll see you in there. All right, welcome in, boys. Today we're going to be going over my store that I did 2 million in sales with, and this one was only through Facebook. So kind of an interesting contrast having a store that was solely TikTok and a store that's solely Facebook. So I think these are beautiful examples of showing you guys different strategies, different potentials, and the different approaches that really work well based on the different media platforms. This breakdown is going to be extremely similar to the last one, talking about my strategy, what products I did, why I did it, giving the full storylines, and giving you guys basically anything that you want to know or anything you might need to know to see success in the store that you make. This store is interesting because Facebook is coming back now. Facebook has had a ton of issues, and overall I think it is a burning bridge. I think it's a ship that has set sail and is not going to be coming back anytime soon. But for the time being, Facebook is less strict. It is possible to get on there. It is possible to run some ads. So before Facebook really kind of dies out, which I think is its imminent future, this old strategy that I used to do is still working. I'm finding people doing it now, and I've met with some very high up people that have notified me that they're still doing the same strategy that I did back in 2019 and some of 2020 with this store that did 2 million. So interesting stuff. We'll jump into all the strategies, give you guys everything you need to know, and I will see you in there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the big store. This is one of my top stores. This is Street Style Men. So this is the store I did 2 million in sales on Facebook ads. Thankfully crossed the milestone, almost didn't, almost got stopped at 1.9. We have a ton of sessions, right? So our number isn't too close. We usually want those to be even or the sales higher. But yeah, this was my store from like 2020 to 2021 December 30th. So this store like fully died, and then I started the TikTok store right after. So little timeline stuff for you there. We had a high average order value, pretty extremely low conversion rate. It seems like a ton of add to carts, but almost no one reached checkout. And this was kind of due to we were doing worldwide marketing. So some people would add to cart and they would have some issues, right? Like their currency, their location, their country, something along those lines would prohibit them purchasing or their checkout process. we had a really high customer return rate, and I'll be real with you, don't really know why. That one just might have to remain a slight mystery. I did do a ton of email marketing. I paid someone to really dive in on this store and crush emails, so I'm assuming it was from them. I had a retainer of around, I want to say 3,000 a month, something along those lines, and they honestly crushed emails. The Klaviyo account did really good on emails. You can see the top products here: Space Mesh Sneaker, Durable Leather Sandal, Sneaker, Turtleneck Sweater, and another sweater. So this store was kind of around men's fashion. Well, it was around men's fashion, but kind of more of like a, 150,000 just from marketing. So this is just from Klaviyo, I believe. So pretty decent there, because we only started, or actually, I think this was me around here. Then they came in and kind of blew it up. So, but yeah, they were working on it around the whole time frame. So Klaviyo sales, pretty decent. We had a ton of people from India and Pakistan that would view the store. I think there was checkout issues for them though, so I think that's kind of why the conversions were a little bit low there. But yeah, shoes seem to do really well on this store. And what's interesting is a lot of the people that I'm finding still using this old strategy are selling shoes. So big value bomb there. Shoes on Facebook do really good, and they have a high perceived value and really good margins. So super interesting, but we will be diving into that in one of the later videos. So we have 30,000 orders here and a pretty high AOV. So that's really why this store did so good, is that average order value, man. Having $62 as an average customer spending helps you spend a lot more on ads. It helps you do a lot. So let's jump into this store. And again, pretty underwhelming. We have, this one was a little bit better on desktop, but it's on the same theme as the Loving Surprise one. It's called the Turbo Portland theme, and I can give you guys a free download on it. Or I believe you can literally just Google free Turbo Portland theme and grab that. But here it is. We had some premium men's fashion, and I did some decent quality testing to ensure that these products were actually high quality, and we really kind of went around that. This is like a high quality Dapper's menswear fashion type of brand, and honestly, like, I guarantee this was just a bunch of dads. Honestly, like, we probably had the average customer was probably around 40 years old. But outerwear, you can see instantly that we had a ton of products, an absolute ton of them. You can kind of see where the different strategies started to develop. But yeah, with this store did really good, man. 2 million in sales in like a year. It was like 1 year, I think it was slightly over. Look at some of these things. Sadly enough, boys, these actually sold a lot. Crazy. Like, some things that you would just never, and this sold too. It's just like, oh my god, like, who's buying this, man? Some stuff would just pop. Like, I think that is god awful hideous. Same with that, but they would just sell, man. It was super weird. So to go over the strategy with this store, it was basically just bulk test products. It's quite literally it. Like, I thought this would pop. This did horrible. Dude, this got like no sales. Like, so weird. Like, Facebook is bizarre. Stupidest shirt ever literally got sales. So weird, man. But yeah, this store, the strategy was literally just test like 10 products a day. Import these products really quick. Like, look at this description, man. Ooh, little colors. Look like blue and then navy, literally same color. Like, just kind of ghetto, but simple, right? Easy. You know what you're getting. With the quick little description, you'd put like a little 2 sentences together, and then you'd have little based on 5 reviews, and there's some reviews in there. I think they don't show up anymore though, because this store, it's not in commission. Like, this is old, man. So I'd have a VA that I would pick all the products. I'd bring them into Oberlo, and we don't use Oberlo anymore, so this is back in the day. But I'd put them into Oberlo, and then he would come in and put the descriptions in. I'd pick out the photos, and we would import like 10 products a day and just test them on Facebook ads. It was crazy. But shoes did really good. Here's a little, I saw someone advertising this today on Facebook ads, ton of likes. So literally I might have to start another fashion store like this again and give it another shot. These did really good. Where's our Space Mesh? This was the top, and I custom made that photo on Canva, and that's why it popped. So the big secret in this one, this was the second best seller. It was these little images that I would make, and it was super easy, right? Like, you just put it on Canva, take the background out. I just looked up like space picture and literally just put it on and add a little shadow. Like, so easy. Same with this, like, literally just put a city in the back. So dumb. This one, it already came like that. But I would make like, because a lot of people, there was decent competition of people doing this as well, like bulk testing products. This one did pretty good too. See, I just put these little backgrounds in them and stuff, but there's a decent amount of competition. And so me having a different creative, it didn't look the exact same as everyone else, because usually everyone's doing this, like the stock AliExpress image. So I would try to customize them up a little bit, or add like a carousel of all the images, or do these little tweaks to help it do a little bit better. We did a notable amount of sales in accessories, but I think the real stuff was like shoes and outerwear. Like these did pretty decent. Man, this is such a throwback scene. Some of these haven't been in here in so long. But yeah, this store did really good. Some pants did great. These ones did really good. These ones did good. Yeah, so the main strategy to break it down is basically just that. Like, so simple. Like, run picture ads on Facebook, do some basic targeting, throw 10 products into Facebook ads a day, $200 budget on each product. And if it made money, great. If it didn't, who cares? Because if you do 10 in a day, usually like 2 of them would be decent. So those ones would cover your cost. And then sometimes like 1 of them would be a huge winner, like this one, like huge sales, like easy 6 figures, just this product. So when you're bulk testing, it would just make up for itself, right? So you would just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall and wait for something to stick. And that was basically it. Super simple, super easy. Just throw money in ads. You have a product that's doing good, just throw money in ads. Oh, your product burnt out, fizzled out. You wouldn't focus on, oh, I'm gonna make a new ad of it, or oh, I'm gonna order it to my house and make a video ad. Nope. Get rid of the product, get a next one in, and just go, 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 fast, fast, fast. And there are a ton of people still doing this strategy. I was kind of mind blown. Some of the people that I've met mentioned that they still do this strategy, this exact thing on Facebook. So the thing with Facebook, and we'll get into all this stuff again, jumping ahead of myself, just like the last video, that's probably something I'm going to do a lot in this course, but Facebook has waves of strictness and waves of leniency. So when Facebook's doing good, when their earnings are good, they're on track, they get very strict with the people who can advertise. But when they're struggling like they have been, their earnings reports are down, they're losing a ton of money, stocks are down, they let almost anyone advertise. So it gets a lot easier. And if you're not breaking any rules, it's kind of easy to get back on Facebook, so I'm told. So I'm going to be attempting to get on Facebook through this course. I'm going to be making a store with you guys and just kind of having fun. I'm not going to try to like take the store to 6 figures or 7 figures or something. Potentially I could, who knows, but it's really hard to do that because if I release the store like, hey, this is my product, here's the store, it's in the course, then everyone else does it and it's too hard to scale up. So yeah, I'm gonna make a store and run some ads on it and kind of goof around and show you guys the exact strategies and frameworks, but I'm not gonna try to really scale it. But honestly, if you guys started a store like this, I really think you could have some big success. Just focus on a certain niche. Focus on, like, this was like street style, like menswear. Focus on something specific, and I'll really get into it in the other videos when I show other stores, other case studies. When I'm looking for products, I'm going to be doing live product research with you guys and really diving into everything at a very intense but understandable level. So yeah, you'll see that this strategy is something a lot of people are still doing to this day. Just simple picture ads, test 1 million products a day, and just when something sticks, hope it can get you to that 6-7 figure.
Miliza, ein Video? Seit wann ist die so gesprächig? Was soll das? Hä? Ach lol, stimmt, das Bild von 0:22 ist von heute. Ei. Ja, okay.
Do you put lipstick on your lips? Tiger?
No. Do you look like it? They're dry as fuck, but... nee, ist... Digga, Serbin, Bruder, wie soll ich jetzt auf einmal mit einer Serbin reden? No. Do they look like it? I don't think so, but... I take that as a compliment. Boah, so cringe. Aber schon glücklich mit Menschen zu reden, so... Also, wenn ich... War ein Witz. Ich muss mein Handy laden, ich will kurz einen Laden haben. Hab ich Lippenstift? Wie heißt die Scheiße? Der heißt Lipstick. Was ist Lipstick auf Deutsch? Ich weiß was. Lippenstift. Und fülle mal ganz mit dem Wasser auf den Klo auf. Also, Wasser. If I'm good, make a deal with God. and get him to swamp places. We run. Da war ich schon mit den Lyrics. Do you put lipstick on your... Do you use lipstick on your lips? Like, bro, that's crazy. That's very crazy. Weg. Bro's a little clingy here.
Your range just from one product and just keep going. When it comes to like the advertising method itself of like the strategy that I did, I'll go over that in the Facebook ad stuff, but it was basically is super simple. Just a Facebook ad image that is this exact image, like your front image of the product, basic, like 2 sentences, get them to click in. Super basic, easy website to check out. And usually my assumption is like some dude's on his phone at 4 a.m. It's like, oh, I might need to get this. Oh, what is it? Simple. All right, you're selling to dudes, right? Like they don't want to go, oh, is it my size? Oh, is it gonna shrink? They don't really care, right? So men are like easier to sell to. So I think it was easy to get sales through this simple thing. But on the flip side, women are easier to sell to. Like they'll buy things more, but you have to kind of appeal to them more, right? Like if you're selling women's clothes, you have to have all the information, all that stuff. So I think that's why this like bare bones strategy really worked good, is because we were targeting dudes. They're like, I don't care, that looks nice, fitted turtleneck sweater, whatever. Add to cart, easy. All right, I'll go to checkout. And honestly, like we were just printing sales with products, man. Like this strategy was working really good. Okay, so to give you a quick run through, we had like 20,000 page likes, which is kind of crazy just from running ads.
Scheiße, erschrecken die mich. Was ist jetzt?
Siehst du, das kriegst du.
Warte mal ganz kurz, lass mal ganz kurz gucken. Warte.
Oder machst du aus?
Musst du dann. Mach die Tür auf! Nee.
Hast du wohl beim Erschnuschen gehört? Was geklappt hat?
Nee. Ich höre gerade Musik, beziehungsweise ich gucke YouTube. Meine Güte. Überhört.
Just kind of a look at some of our ads. So this was literally it. 2020 fractal design shirt or fractal dress shirt. Hurry up, our 50% off sale ends soon. And just a link in there. And then they also have the button link right here when it's like a running ad. And that was it, man. Like so stupid, so easy. You would just throw 1,000 of these up every single day and try to get people to purchase. It was like kind of like a lottery. It was kind of like a gamble of like, oh, is this product gonna work? Oh, I think this one's good. Oh, is this one good? No, this one's gonna suck. And then, oh, this one worked, this one didn't. And it was pretty fun just throwing products up and kind of seeing what happens. Shoes were really good, but yeah, everything was like down to a science. Like we had the exact ad copy. We'd copy and paste, change the product name, put in the link, boom, done. And we would just bulk do them. It was a pretty fun but tedious process. And these were some of the ads that were posted. So this ad, these are not all of our ads, these are just some of them. There's things called ghost ads. Like when you make an ad inside of the ads manager, it's just kind of like its own post that's floating around in Facebook. But these were kind of like Spark ads where you make the ad using the Facebook post itself. So all the likes and all of the comments go onto your page, if that makes sense. So these were like our page post ads. We had a ton of ads that would just float around and those would get a ton of sales. But yeah, that was basically our framework. It was super easy, just copy and paste, throw up a product, and it was really fun, and we did a ton in sales. When it comes to like things that I could have done better, I think I could have upgraded the store a bit, the design, right, have more reviews, have a little more social proof, have some better images. But I think the thing that truly would have been the best that I could have done is just test more products. I should have tested 20 a day. I should have hired people.
Ja, weil dunkel. Dunkel. Man sieht aber, die sind sautrocken. Ja, ich finde mein Labello nicht.
And tested 100 products a day because it worked. We were making money. The methodology behind it, the math behind it made sense. The risk to reward ratio made sense. So I should have just scaled harder. But this was my first like really big successful store. I had other stores that hit $1 million in sales and stuff, but this one just took off to a different level. Very fast, very quick, 2 million in a year. This was the space mesh sneaker. This was just one of the creatives. We had a bunch of different creatives for that one, selling socks and a bunch of stuff like that. Even tried some underwear. This one did not do too good. Yeah, this is another creative. We had a bit of creatives for that sneaker. So if I had to give kind of like a lesson that I learned from this store, the biggest thing was just think big and act big, right? Because the biggest thing that I could have done is just scaled this up more. I should have invested more. I should have had 5-10 employees that are scraping products, finding them based on my product research criteria. They send them to the virtual assistant that puts them into the page. And then I could have even hired a media buyer to run the ads. I just show them the framework. And I could have scaled this up to millions a month in sales, right? The framework worked. I just needed to scale it. So I think the biggest thing that this store taught me is it's possible. Think bigger, you can execute bigger. And this was a big learning lesson on Facebook ads. I had some other like fashion pages in the past. If you've seen my YouTube videos, I kind of talk about those. They're not up anymore, or else I do a case study on them. Like the Shopify isn't set up. Like for me to be in here showing you guys the analytics, I still have to pay $30 a month. So I've been paying $30 a month forever on this store, just so I can use it as a case study, just for you guys, just to kind of show what's up, right? Just to use it as a teaching opportunity. But yeah, the biggest thing I can say is this strategy still works. People are still doing it, and I will show you guys in depth how to do it when we get to the Facebook ads strategy. But I wanted to teach you guys kind of like what the TikTok method looks like in a rough sense, and what the Facebook method looks like in a rough sense. Obviously, you can do any product on TikTok, any style store on TikTok, any style store on Facebook, but these kind of seem to be a good example of what I've come to find a lot of other big e-com dudes are doing, is kind of some things along these lines. And in my next video, I'm going to break down tons of different brands, different stores, why they're good, why they're bad. It's going to be
push. Brr.
Aua!
Warum ist iPhone-Quali aber so viel 100-mal besser? Ich raff das nicht. Auf Snapchat, Digga, ist geisteskrank.
a very, very fun, in-depth video where I just come in, break down all these stores, show you guys some product research, show you guys some things that are good, some things that are bad. And that's going to give you guys a full-blown understanding of what kind of things you might want to pursue on your store, right? Do you want to focus more on Facebook? Do you want to focus more on TikTok? And ultimately, there's a lot of strategies, right? There's a million ways to make $1 million, but the objective of this course is to teach you the paths that I've seen work and to teach you the paths that I've seen work for other people, to show you guys what the big players are doing. So as much as I would love to just say, hey, this is the one strategy, this is what works, only do this, it's just not the case, right? It's just not realistic. So I want to show you guys absolutely everything. If you have any questions, make sure about this store, my past store, make sure you throw those in the community group. Make sure you guys are reaching out to all the people in your community, welcoming anyone who comes in, and just being super responsive there. That stuff means the world to me, and I will try to be doing the exact same with you guys, making posts in there and just having fun with you guys. So let me know if there's any questions with this store. I'm happy to revisit and make another video, a new video going over any topics you guys want. So this course will obviously be growing. I'll be adding in videos. I'll be taking away some videos if a certain strategy doesn't work. Your guys' success is my biggest focus. So anything I can do to make this course better for you guys, please let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video where we're going to be going over top niches, top stores, giving you different examples of good stores, bad stores, and all that fun stuff. So I will see you in there. All right, guys, welcome into the next video. I hope you enjoyed the case studies, the walkthroughs of my past brands. Today, we are going to be jumping into some top niches and store examples of good niches, of things that I know works, things that when I go to big networking events, I see that other people are doing, things that I can genuinely recommend to you because I've either done them myself.
Hatte ich hier nicht so eine Packung Schokolade?
Or I know a lot of people that are very big in this space and they're also focusing on these types of niches and these types of stores. So this is going to be a little bit more of a candid one. I kind of want to stay away from scripting. In the first module, I was very strict on making sure the message that I gave you was very tailored to what I think people need when they're starting in this journey of getting into success, journey of kind of holding themselves accountable and making money on their own terms, right? So those ones were very scripted, and these ones I want to be a little bit more candid, focus on value, focus on realness, and just giving you guys my direct.
Bruder, das geht denn ab bei dir, du dummer Schütze.
Thoughts, and trying to also stay to the point, because sometimes when I script I can get a little bit too in depth and really like have the goal of over explaining to make sure people get it. So today in this one we're going to go over the top niches, the store examples with them, and really just show you guys what I think you should be focusing on with your store. In the next couple videos we're going to be getting into like building your skyscraper and what that means and really setting the foundation for your store for long term. Then we're also going to be getting into like AI and how you can use it to help benefit your store and kind of take off some of the workload that you would usually have to do. I always say drop shipping is just getting easier and better. Some of the systems are harder, but we have so many tools nowadays to help us. Then we'll jump into the stuff that you guys really want to learn of, like how to find winning products, the blueprint of what a winning product looks like, all that stuff. But today I really want to get into the top stores and examples and really just show you guys what you should be shooting for. So like I said before, we're going to be going over what works, and some of the best stores that I've seen are stores in the beauty niche, stores that the product solves a problem, clothing, and the Facebook direction of like really focusing on just selling a mass amount of clothes and only doing Facebook ads. That's what I did on Street Style Men, and I'll go over some other stores that are doing it right now, and I can almost guarantee they're bringing in at least $400K a month around that area, if not a ton more. And that's just based off me seeing some of their Facebook ads. And then the last one is passion communities. So if you're selling something to hikers or something to golfers or gamers or people that are into chess or something where that person, the thing that they're into is almost like a part of their identity. Like they're very passionate about it. They go to events for it. Like it's something they really care about. If you have a store that's focused on people like that, that's going to do really well. So those are my 4 examples. So the first topic we're really going to dive into is beauty. All right, guys. So the first brand we're going to go over is called 4Chicks. So these guys, I believe, got started as a dropshipping company just selling the enhancing serum for like your eyelashes. And then they branched out into more products. So This is an extremely simple brand. It's very good name, very good target audience. They're only doing one thing, right? For chicks. Like it's a girl's beauty product, and they don't sell like everything in the whole world. Let's hit shop and go over their products. So they have for lash, only 3 products, for brow, only 3 products, and some bundles. This is why they're doing so good. They don't have to manage inventory of like 500 different products and all these different variants and different colors and, oh, this focuses on this and this focuses on that. They have a very simple offer, and that's why they do good. Let's think of Chick-fil-A. Let's think of In-N-Out Burger. These companies don't have huge menus. They don't have a ton of products, and that's why they do a ton better than some of these other companies. They have higher profit margins. If you go look at the profit margins of McDonald's compared to Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out, it's just a way better. Their business model. Let's think of Apple. Right now they're getting into tons of variants, but essentially they have a simple product, a simple offer. You know what you're getting. These guys have a great brand. They have absolutely amazing simple product.
Push. Oh, fuck.
Products, and I'm assuming they work great, or else they wouldn't have been able to scale this high. But I can promise you guys, this store got started in around probably 2016 because these were popping in 2016. These eyelash serums, they're also doing really good right now. And these like lash products, like this lash brow thing, dude, this was like one of the first products I tested like out of high school. Like, this is some old stuff, but they just capitalized it. They scaled it up. They made it big. They made it real. They put teams behind it. And essentially, this is what we want to go for, right? I can almost guarantee, I'd bet my life on it. They started with the eyelash serum. It got traction. They said, hey, this is getting a ton of sales. Let's order these in bulk. Let's put our brand name on it. Let's maybe put a better case on it. Let's maybe speak with some people that can enhance our formula. Let's invest in making this product better. And that's all they did. Right? They were getting a shit ton of sales through drop shipping. They scaled it up. They had money to invest. They got it in inventory. There's only one variant of this. That's a very easy product to just like improve on and just order bigger unit amounts. I'm sure they're selling on Amazon too now, so they have all these sales channels. You can even sell on.
Ja, aber guck mal, wenn dort das Produkt von einem Dritten kommt, wie genau sollen die es dann auf Amazon so verkaufen? Dann raffen die Leute, obwohl, aber wenn du größer bist als der Hersteller, also der ursprüngliche Verkäufer. Warum sollte dann der Verkäufer dir überhaupt verkaufen, wisst ihr? Aber weil ihr ihm immer noch Profit bringt. Eigentlich ein saugeiles System. Wahrscheinlich sagen.
Like Walmart retail and really scale out into something crazy. So this is ultimately the thing that I think is best. There's that clothing brand route that we talked about, and we'll go in way more depth on it. But I think this branding long-term, have one simple problem solving product and scaling it out and growing it and improving upon the product and really building a brand that gets customers and doesn't get sales, because right, we want people to repeat purchase. We want people to be like, wow, this eyelash enhancing serum is so good. I bet their lash bundle's really good that has this mascara. I bet their
Ich war als letztes Legal Troubles. Mies. Hier war ich. Screenshot. Aber ich gehe jetzt offline. Ich kann mir das Geschwafel alles lange anhören. So. Jo, machen wir das Ganze hier nochmal. Jetzt mein PC auch wieder ein bisschen besser funktioniert. So Jungs, habt einen schönen